Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Lego Lord of the Rings. Let's continue the story. So you may notice I'm in a slightly different place. I had to restart the program. Something weird's going on lately with my sound driver where the sound will stop after a few hours of the game being paused. Which would sound like something you'd never even notice, but for me, it actually is a pretty common occurrence for me to leave games paused, sleep, and then go start the next day. You didn't miss anything though. So, I've done a little bit of research about this game. There are the whole story, except the Hobbit, which is a prequel. Everything's here, and it always was in every version, it seems like.
Swamp, yes. Come, master. We'll take you on safe paths through the mist.
I can't help but get the feeling that Golem might be trying to trick me here. I mean, so it seems like there's only specific paths through the swamp you can walk into, otherwise you get stuck in the water. It's even showing with the Lego pieces the right way to go. While I'm not I don't think that happened in the movie. Get a bucket, stick it here. So I figured out what that box means. It means box of stuff. And there's different things you're gonna have to pick up in the levels when you play free play. This is actually kind of a revolutionary idea for Lego games to have more minifig items in play and have it be part of the main gameplay. It's a little strange that that doesn't happen in the other games after this. So it might be something they're still thinking about. It might be something that only shows up in games where they're not super specific. So like if you're playing as the Batman or the Marvel superheroes, they've got so many of their own special items that it wouldn't make sense to have a system around standard items such as shovels, buckets, things that any minifig or any character would have. This is a little bit of an interesting area too. Look out there far away. It's kind of round and open world-ish. This second part of the game feels like it was definitely made by a different team. Just already being only a few, like one level into it, I think. The second movie. Which is sad because, as far as my understanding, the parts that are going to be the most impactful in the story, the movie trilogy, are going to be the very beginning, in which you get most of your characterization of all the characters, and you see the whole Fellowship of the Ring, which is gone by now. So it's just gonna be this travel story about Sam and Frodo. I'd hate to be in a swamp where fires just start. Green, ghostly fires. There was just something drastic about the way they showed the credits. Oh look, Smee is like washing off in the swamp. We are literally walking through Smee juice. Or what? That's not his name. Golem juice. Is he a golem and his name is Smee, or I don't even know. It says golem. But look, the water is clean. He walks through it, it becomes filthy. That's no good. This looks like there should be water there. And there isn't. You fall in the water and you have to tap A. Ah, there we go. It's good game design that where he walks becomes labeled and clear to see. It's just really, really gross when you think about what the story is implying there. Some creature that hasn't bathed in probably 500 years. Alright, so I made it through. I died anyways, but I think the game messed up a little bit there. Throw this rope and pull it down. A lot more interaction going on. A lot more Lego in the Lego game. Pull that part. And it definitely is an interesting thought. It's like, how could you get behind on the first third of your game? How could you get so behind that the first third, the part that needs to really hook people in and keep them motivated and interested in playing the rest of the game? How do you fall behind there? Well, it's just time management. When you simplify it too much, it's somebody somewhere said, well, the second story and the third movie are the more important ones, so spend all your time working on that. It can also be that it was properly time managed and simply there was just problems, like something went wrong with programming it in some way. I think I finally need... I need this flask of light, I believe, for this place. Build a hook. Sam is doing more of the work. I think that might actually be the joke of the game, but it might also be the joke of the stories, that Sam is really doing all the work. So it's weird how you kind of feel like you're drowning when you jump, but then you find a path. Teddy bear.
Black Riders!
Oh, they're riding the dragon now. Frodo can equip the elven thing to hide. Sure, why not? Look how he's hiding. He's hiding with a plant. Just go and save it. The other two seem like they're hiding. don't see me. Okay, so that was all I had to do was hide. Stand still and... But I gotta jump out of that. I love the standard video game. I'm gonna jump out of any hide spots or hide conditions. Move fast. If you're jumping, you want to move fast. It's a pretty common thing in stories and movies for the sidekick to be the person that is actually doing all the work and actually accomplishing everything. Pretty much taps into the at least adult reality where often you have somebody else doing all the work and yet the main character, the boss, gets all the glory. Plus it's a nice way to be subtly comedic. And in this story in particular, I think it is more buddy than intentional abuse or manipulation of your friend to do everything. There is a lot, it feels like, in the characterization of Frodo that he is the one and only pure soul in the entire world, and even though everybody else is helping him and yeah, you hide there. Even though everybody else has tried to help him, they failed because they just weren't pure enough. And that's why Frodo is the only person that can hold the ring. If you're to logically follow this, the thought of the ring, that it tempts people and calls out to them, I think what you would have to, without a wizard telling you it had to be Frodo, you would have to assume the best move would be to share the ring between different people and go, here you hold it, now here you hold it, on the hour, every hour we'll switch out, and then any corrupting influence it may have would be spread out and linked between the group. Maybe not give it to Gollum, who has been holding on to it for 500 years. But then when you really think about that, Gollum has been holding on to it for 500 years, like why not give it right back to him? Assumedly there was peace and prosperity, at least to a small extent, during that time. What is he? I don't understand. I don't understand what I was supposed to do there. I guess he's supposed to hide over here. And then this guy is supposed to hide. Maybe he's not supposed to hide over here? There's something here. They tell me to hurry, but I don't have a clue what I'm supposed to actually do. I can't jump. And over here, there's nothing. And over here, there's nothing. So let's say he does this. Can I then jump and get in there with him? No. can get up here. Just was weirdly weird that was it was hard to walk that way, I guess is the right thing to say. This is an apparent problem with kids games in particular, but video games in general are almost constantly having this issue, in which the scene design, deep level subconscious design, does not do enough to point a player's eye towards the action they're supposed to do, or explaining what the action is supposed to do. It shows itself worse in its worst fashion in some of the really old point-and-click adventure games, and we've gotten miles and miles better at it. But still, it's very easy if you just happen to be confused or not getting what they're trying to tell you to spend a couple of minutes somewhere. And it's probably the second most looked for thing in debugging. The first being, of course, the game. Does the game actually play, or does it crash? Yeah. I could jump right over there, and yet it doesn't seem like that's what I can do. So what have I missed? There has to be something over here I've missed. I am seeing some bricks. Everybody's hiding, but I need to be way over there. And I know I need to be way over there. But when I walk forward, I'm seeing like you'd think this would do it, just doing that. But we're so far away. He's way over there looking for me. So I've missed something still. Obviously I've missed something. It's not shooting this over here. I can guarantee that's not it. And it doesn't feel like it would be breaking these couple of plants, because this game has been very shallow on the amount of plants and things you need to break. Oh, what's this? So yeah, like right here it should be completely obvious what it should have been done in such a way that it could not have passed at all. And now we're having trouble though with this. Come on, stay still. Come on, game. So the game is designed to be two-player, and I may very well have to cheat here. I may have to cheat. Yeah. The single player is just not figuring it out. So what I'm gonna do is hit Y Then press F2 to start this guy. And no, I don't want that. I've got to figure out how to move this guy now with my keyboard to get him on this so I can get this guy so I can walk over here, and now I need to be able to hit escape, resume, and escape. Resume. D. Drop out. But see, the problem here is the one that just dropped out, the one that should have been able to drop out, is the wrong one. Because the keyboard has now taken full control over it. This one bug here has now ruined the experience of the story. And I've never had this happen in a Lego game. So what I have to do is, like, I think, drop out, then find the key that will switch, and then hit start here, and so now I have both the controller in this set to this. And it seems like there's no way I can do it. Like, this drops out. Which one does it drop out? Alright, this refuses to drop out though. So there's probably a key. There's probably some key here. But I don't know what it is. And as I hit keys, like, how am I supposed to know? Maybe it's the number pad enter? Finally! Yes, it's number pad enter brings up the control there, because it seems like the game is designed so that you could play 2 players on the same keyboard, which is ridiculous. Not insanely ridiculous though, because you can't plug 2 keyboards into a computer through USB, and then you can work around that. But overall, that was a horrible experience because the AI would not stay still. And that's all it needed to do, is have programming that said, if you're standing on certain spots, don't move. Awful experience. Like, no criticism really of the movies or the stories. They're just bad programming. And this is the good team. This is the team I'm saying that's better than the first one. And it's still got problems. And maybe there weren't teams. I'm speculating 100% on that. But there certainly seems to have been some drastic differences in quality between the first story and the second. Well, at the very least now I know how to drop in and drop out with the keyboard. Lego games and video games in general are starting to run out of buttons. It is a weird statement to say considering how there's too many buttons on the controller already, but they really are starting to run out. When you hold B to do one thing, hold B to do a second thing in different contexts. It's a difficult thing to solve because certainly people can make video games where you would need thousands and thousands of separate buttons if you tried to do every action.
The black gate is very close.
But you need a little bit of both. So Gollum's minifig makes it look like his little underwear tarp is
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
doesn't really cover properly in that last scene. So I don't know if that's true in the movie. Do you get to see Gollum's butt in the movie?
It's opening.
Who's delivering the pizza?
No! There's another way. More secret. A dark way.
Lead the way, Smeagol.
See, like right here, are they just looking at his butt? That's what the minifig looks like.
Who are they?
Wicked men. Servants of Sauron.
It's an Oliphant.
Notice how none of the arrows actually penetrate anybody? They just bounce off them and knock them down. So what are we trying to do here? I'm trying to build something, I think. We've taken control. Who are we playing as? I think maybe the people we've seen before, maybe new people. It's kind of the middle of the story for them to be adding new people, but I suspect that's how the story goes. Right up to the end, you're seeing new bad guys, new creatures, new everything. What am I supposed to do? Grab up here? Okay. That'll work. So, when I was a kid, instead of reading Lord of the Rings, I read a book called Dinotopia about dinosaurs. And the thought just occurred to me that I'd really love to see a movie series or game series about that. Now, there have been some TV movies that are great. I think a video game series might be better. I think there's some comparisons between the two that J.R. Tolkien certainly predates that book. And they could both probably do for a rewrite. So I've built this trampoline, and is that my goal? Is I'm just trying to get a trampoline, get on a trampoline so I can bounce on them. Even the slow pacing of this elephant is still outpacing me. And then I double jumped because I'm a fool and jumped right off. I had two opportunities to stop hitting A there. These Oliphants are interesting, like minifig kids. because I'm not sure actual Lego plastic toys have ever made an Oliphant or that many like fake creatures at all. I know they have an elephant. Have for years. But this is has more joints than the elephant minifig does. And a lot, 2 more tusks.
We've lingered here too long.
So there's like a whole scene and it has nothing to do
We are
with
hobbits of the Shire.
them at all.
We set out from Rivendell with 7 companions. 1 we lost in Moria. 2 were my kin. A dwarf there was also, and an elf. And 2 men. Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and Boromir of Gondor.
You're a friend of Boromir?
Yes.
It would grieve you then to learn that he is dead.
Dead?
He was my brother.
2 halflings, and a host of men at my call. The ring of power within my grasp.
He's gonna destroy it! That's where we're going. Into Mordor.
Osgiliath is under attack. They call for reinforcements. The ring will go to Gondor.
So that's the end of that level. That I can only assume that in the stories of J.R. Tolkien, he wrote incidences where Frodo just watched other people fight battles, or he had those people recant the battles, and then that would be the game's fault for having Frodo watch somebody else do something instead of having somebody tell him and then fade to that. I think that would be a little bit better. Overall though, the fact at the core of the story that Frodo is not doing much of anything in this story is extremely odd. Extremely odd. But that's not the biggest thing to take away from this level. The biggest thing to take away from this level is that AI is broken. So, if you need help, what you gotta do is hit F2 to start a new game as the second player, to not start a new game, but hop in as the second player is what it's called, and then stand on that platform that was very hard to see, and then walk across, and then hit the number pad enter key, and then drop out. What a mess. What a mess. Even without that mess though, this level's kind of a mess. The swamp was cool and all, but had very little in it. There's some collectibles certainly hidden around the level, but no point in even trying to do the collectibles until you're in free play mode. And then the battle was just a battle, and I don't feel like Lego games do battles that well anyways. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.